bit more purple, a little bit lighter. One. Yeah. What the deal? Hey, we're a little early. We got 4 minutes. One-on-one coaching with moi, Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. We got a tough one today. How to befriend grief. Loss. Oof. It's about to be powerful. I want everybody to just share the link. Like it, share it. You already know. Like it, share it. And of course, I always want everybody to hit that super chat, man. 1212. Can you all hear me? We got 3 minutes. Oh, man. One-on-one coaching with Zoe Williams. Can you guys hear me? I just put questions and a description in the description box. I just put the topic. 1212. 1212. Get a copy of the Relationship Dismount. Somebody said it's a must read. Thank you. I appreciate that. You know? Can you hear me? Two minutes before showtime. One, two, 1, 2. We getting ready. One, two. Let's go. Everybody like the video. 60 seconds.
Hey, so I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light. See the light.
I'm Zoe Williams. The voice. Has your soulmate become a cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turn fantasies? Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this is gonna be crazy.
The child wasn't his, and he still.
It's a very
How was that right?
mama's baby. Dad.
I have so many questions.
Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
Me out of I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed. How do you maintain velocity?
When it pinches my neck.
Why can't you, bro?
Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you rate women so well?
Zoe Williams.
Reason and accountability.
The voice of reason. Yeah. Your brother is here. Hey, before I get started, I want to play this Rox Ran. I like this kid out of Cleveland. At ROX Ran, RAN 216. Turn this up a little bit, man. I like this kid, man. I'm going to keep pushing him.
Up, I had to set the bar. Wish you understood that all people are at war and this is success. My hat, bootstrap, changed my demeanor and my habitat. Like fit, not fingers on ballerina, raised as a thinker. Now get like hustling and knowledge over beats. I'm a prophet under pressure. I just harden like I'm playing for the Rockets. Character is currency. Fuck what's in your pockets, feeling like God. I represent the reasons that you are what you believe in, but most blacks start like playing defense, so we strapped up, call it self-defense.
Aye. That's cool, man. At Rox Ran. Go follow him right now on Instagram. I like this young man. Go follow him at Rox Ran 216. At RoxRan216. Go follow him. Tell him Zoe Williams sent you. We good. Now let's get into what we do over here. The Voice of Reason, live on Dash Radio. Dash is like Sirius XM or radio for YouTube, right? 10 million listeners, 587 shows, 88 channels. The channel that I'm on is Dash Talk. You underdig? This is Dash Talk. And I want to bring deep conversations, man, that elevate our mind and spirit, right? We get caught up on all types of superficial things, but I want to do some real things, guys. I want to do some real things with this platform. And you know what I do? Normally, I have the sisters in here, and it's their platform, and they're getting their perspectives and their opinions out to you. But every now and again, I like to tell them to take the day off. And then I come in, and we really get deep. Not to say that they're not deep, because they are as deep as their experiences, and they've been through some shit. So they're as deep as anybody else, you know what I mean? But every now and again, Zoe got to come in and just do what he does. And that is wise counsel, advisement. All right? Today's a special topic, special show. We want to deal with it. But before we get to that, you know we got to promote a couple of things. I've already had my prerequisite or my requisite 2 bottles, all right, of Total Package Energy. You can't really see it. Maybe you can see it a little better here. There we go. Total Package Energy, right? Neural enhancer, antioxidant, you dig, energy boost, stamina sustainer, energy shot, no sugar, you know, amino acids, all the good stuff. Total Package Energy. Let me just say this, man. At the end of the month, my homeboy gives me an accounting of what he's done or what we've done. Total Package Energy did 82 cases in the month of February. And that was a little better, I guess 25 cases more than January. So I just want to help grow the guy's business. And I think his business is a viable one. I use this stuff all the time, you know. If I'm feeling a little sluggish or whatever, I get a Total Package Energy and I keep it pushing. You feel me? So a lot of times you may hear me yell out, oh, go get 30 cases. Well, do that. Why not? Get 4 cases, get 5 cases. It's only $29 a case. You know, you get 12 in a case, and they actually work. Like, I like to promote stuff that works, you know, Jesus, can you work? Well, Total Package Energy works. It's a viable product, and it was designed for high-end athletes or whatever, you know, and so that they don't get in trouble for having, like, you know, foreign substances and all of this stuff in their bodies. It's a really good product. I use it all the damn time. So when I say go cash mob them, I mean it. Everybody should at least get 2 cases. Try it out. 2 cases. TotalPackageEnergy.com. All right. Now, of course, there's a 25% discount for Android Ohm, the luxury sneaker brand that I support as well. Android Ohm. All right. Android like the phone, Ohm, HOMME.com, AndroidOhm.com. You go buy some fly luxury sneakers from those guys, and boom, you put my name in, you get 25% off. So that's a big deal. You understand? That is a big deal. 25% off of anything that's luxury and high end is a good look. So I want you guys to continue to support those guys as well. Also, you already know, Love Matters Revealed. If you haven't gotten your copy yet, I think at the beginning, I think Tuesday, I sent off about 10 copies. I mailed off about 10 copies of Love Matters Revealed. Man, this is a powerful CD. with myself and Dr. Alan Berger. We recorded it December 23rd, 2017. Man, okay, people say, you weren't born with a damn manual. Let me play some of it for you. Let me play I'll turn my music off. Let me play a little bit of this for you so you could get an idea. Like, this CD is so powerful. I mean, it's really not a game. We're really trying to change the way people interact and interface with one another. And like I said, it's a very powerful CD. And a lot of people just don't have the tools. Well, I have created the tools for you. You can find the CD at iamzowilliams.com, or you can go to CD Baby. Check it out. Just a little piece.
Our final section is on relationship dismount. Zoe and I feel that it's very, very important for you to have the option of staying or leaving in a relationship. Because if you don't have the option of leaving, then you can't really stay.
Wow.
And you can't stay if you don't have the option of leaving.
How about it?
So what we want to talk about is how to get yourself there. And what are some of the situations where it may be time to dismount this relationship?
Right.
That for whatever reason, you're not able to stay connected to your partner in a way that creates this growth that we're talking about.
Well, to dismount is to stick the landing. And a lot of times, the metaphor that I used for the book was sometimes we leave too soon, sometimes we wait too long, and that is equivalent to not sticking the landing.
Let's talk about leaving too soon.
Yeah.
Let's spend some time on that. What would that look like to you, Zoe? And I'll share some of my thoughts about it too.
Soon as it gets uncomfortable, you leave.
Yeah,
You
there you
disconnect. Soon as it challenges your beliefs, soon as the relationship holds a mirror up to you and you have to see the dark side of yourself,
Yes.
and you refuse to take accountability for that, and so you disconnect. And what I tell people is, you can always drop a class or a course, but if you want to graduate from this particular study, you got to go back and take that class. And relationship has a way of causing you to redo relationships and lessons you thought you were past.
Yes.
Why do I get the same person? Why am I getting the same experience I had 3 or 4 times in a row? Maybe it's because you've preempted the class before it was over. All right, I can't give up too much game. Damn. I'm telling you, man, that CD, you got to get your copy right now. Love Matters Revealed, right? On my website, iamzowilliams.com. Go there right now, click shop, hit the CD, and order your copy today. Also, listen, I gotta tell y'all, man, I'm no longer handling the physical distribution of my relationship dismount book. Amazon.com is doing it now. Now, anybody, anywhere in the world listening to me now can go to Amazon.com and order a copy of the Relationship Dismount, How to Stick the Landing When Exiting a Toxic Relationship. Again, I've asked you guys to go there, buy the Kindle version, the digital version, or buy the physical version. The bottom line is, I need you guys to get this book trending. The Relationship Dismount, man. How to Stick the Landing When Exiting a Toxic Relationship. Very good book. A lot of positive reviews. You know what I'm saying? What do we have? 5-star rating? It's pretty fire. Get your copy right now. I'm no longer responsible for mailing it out to you. Wow. Okay, so everything has been promoted. I'm opening up the phone lines. It's one-on-one coaching with Zoe Williams. How to befriend grief. A lot of people going through a lot of things right now. A lot of people don't know how to get through it. I'm here tonight to advise. The number to dial is 323-230-4610. That's 323-230-4610. Call me right now if you're going through something. If something is pulling you in a direction that requires you to reach out for help. A lot of times we maintain the grief in our lives because we refuse to build a team of trustworthy people around us that we can confide in. Now, people who listen to me on the 5150 show heard me earlier this week talking about trust, right? And the difference between trust and acceptance. Man, tonight we're going to get deep off into it, okay? How to befriend grief. A deeper look at the process of personal flowering through grief. You mean to tell me grief can be good for you? Where does grief come from? Does grief come from our limited beliefs? Can grief come from our limited beliefs and ideas and the way we see the world? I'm here to break all that shit up tonight. What hole has been left unhealed in your heart because you still have unresolved grief? What hole has been unhealed, left unhealed by grief because you're still holding on to it? Sometimes grief represents the memory of that person. You hold on to the grief because you don't want to forget the person. You think if you let go of the grief, you're going to lose the person. Oh, yeah, it happens that way sometimes. Do you have a grief releasing ritual? Do you pray? Do you meditate? If so, what is your style? How did you build that ritual? And how does that ritual serve you? And are you dependent on the ritual? Now you got to do the ritual. Or were you able to create a ritual, do it, release the grief, and move forward? I want to hear from all scenarios. The number to dial is 323-230-4610. Gosh, do you know how to break up with grief? Some people, man, grief has become a Svengali, a confidant. Jesus, that a confidant, Zoe? Yes. And what is self-care? Man, this is very important. I want you guys to pass this along to everybody you know right now. Here's a question. True or false? Love and grief go hand in hand. Eesh. I got some very things to talk to you guys about tonight. I want to hear, oh, wow, here we go. Hold on. Who did this? Wayne Locke, who's on our right now, watching us live on YouTube, just used the super chat feature and dropped us a $40 piece. Good looking. Thank you so much. We got a couple of others in here. I want to get everybody shouted out. Big Shock God dropped $2. Peace, God. Keep grinding. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Made by Miko just dropped $5. We appreciate it. Erica Smith just dropped $5. Grace A just dropped $2. We appreciate it. And Soul of Beauty, everybody support the VOR. Thank you so much. We got people on the line already. Get to your phone lines right now. The number to dial is 323-230-4610. That's 323-230-4610. One-on-one coaching with myself, Zoe Williams. You might not be going through anything that's grief-bound or grief-filled, but you might be going through something that's difficult. I'm here to advise. Call me right now, 323-230-4610. Caller, you're on the line. Welcome to the Voice of... Whoa. All right. There you go. Boost Mobile. Get to that damn phone line, 323-230-4610. Caller, you're back. You got to turn your life down. Turn it down. Just, there we go. Turn it down. 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 Hello? Are you on the line?
Yeah.
Caller, you got to, I'm talking to you. You have to turn down your video, brother.
I did.
You turned down your radio then.
Yeah, I turned everything down.
All right, so what's the deal, man? How can I help you?
Okay, this is what's going on. You know, I've been watching you. I found out about you through Corey's show.
Thank
You
you.
know what I'm saying? Big fans of all y'all, whatever. And basically, I got into a situation recently. I need your advice on it.
We'll talk to me.
Okay, so this woman who I was messing with back in 1990. Okay, I went to boot camp, whatever. She was like, I'm pregnant. And me coming from a single parent, household, whatever, I was like, I'm gonna do the right thing. And I said, so let's get a blood test. She backed off of her because she knew who the original daddy was. So here we are, 26 years later, the girl, the baby, whatever, contacts me like, I seen your name on some paperwork at the Social Security office. And I'm like, what? And so now she wants to take a paternity test with her daughter. So I said, fine. But it's like, if I missed out on this girl's life and she done turned out all messed up how she did, I feel like I got blamed for that or something.
All right.
Or part in that.
So, one more time. I need you to turn off the volume on your video because I can still hear a bunch of feedback in the background. So, and then
Okay.
I'm gonna deal with your issue.
Okay.
All right. Is it off?
What about now?
You good?
Yes.
All right. Cool. Because maybe turn it down ain't a good term. Maybe turn it off. Turn it off is a better term. All right,
Okay.
So let me deal with it this way. See, guilt is a motherfucker. Right now, the energy that I pick up from you is one of guilt.
Yeah, because if it was the case, and because I know what the single, but you don't know how this girl turned out.
No.
Oh, okay.
We're not gonna let you be cool with guilt or shame. It's a low vibration. I'm gonna ask you one question. If she would have told you that was your child way back when, would you have accepted responsibility for her?
The thing is, yes, I would have if it would have been proven to be, of course.
I'm gonna say it again. Yes or no?
Mm-hmm.
Would you have accepted responsibility? Whatever process you got to go through, proven, blood test, whatever, you would have been there to do that, right?
100%, 150.
All right then. So why you beating yourself up over 26 years of a lie? Because if it turns out to be your child, what you gonna do? You gonna time travel?
That would be great, but I can't.
Exactly. Nobody can. So if it turns out to be your child, it's not about trying to do what you missed out on. Let me tell you how grief and guilt and all of this shit slips into people's lives, bro. Time has a big part to play in grief manifestation and grief maintenance. When we break up with somebody that we wanted to be with, time gets in the way and holds grief in place. Let me give you an example, right? Time will say, damn, we didn't get a chance to do what we planned. So a lot of people have the future aspect of time holding their present grief in place. Damn.
The future aspect of time holding your present guilt in place.
Yeah, it's like I had some outcomes that I wanted to achieve with this person. So the only way to get that grief out of your spirit is to let go of the outcomes with that person. You got to say, all right, well, the relationship is over, so I will never achieve those outcomes with that woman. Got to let it go. That's what letting go means. Letting go of your desired future with a person. See how time is implied? Damn, I really wish it would have worked out, because if it would have, we would have did A, B, C, D, E, F, D. We would have had kids. We would have had, you get what I'm saying? We would have did all of this. That's projecting into the future. You see how time holds grief in place in the present?
That's a good point.
Now, We also do it with the past. It also works in reverse. This is what you're doing to yourself now. Damn, if that's my daughter, I missed 26 years of her life that I can't get back. That's you traveling back to the past. Don't let time corrupt your soul.
Okay, but the only reason I feel that way is because of, you know how I hear, this is my first time calling, but I hear of you speaking just like on the same wavelength that I be thinking. You know, I'm not as smart as you in the book style, you know, but, you know, on the other things, yes. But,
wait a minute, hold on. Do you understand what I'm saying to you right now?
Yes, sir.
Then you are as smart as me. So that debate is over. Continue.
Okay. But right, it wasn't no debate, nothing like that. No.
I got you.
But right. It wasn't no debate. You very intelligent, dude. But okay, the thing of it was is that she is the type of person who me, you, Jeff Brown, we be discussing as far as the lost folk. This girl, 26, pregnant right now, 8 months with her third child.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Mom ain't no good, you know what I'm saying? Never had a daddy and she's still looking, you know what I'm saying?
So guess
and
what?
I'm like, oh my God.
So guess what? If that's your child, what is the universe saying to you? Because there are no accidents in the universe. What is the universe saying to you? That this should pop up right now.
That this should pop up right now, it means that I did the right thing when I had a conscious decision to slow my life down, because I was a wild boy back in the day, you know?
No. This ain't talking about the past. The universe is talking to you about right now. If she turns out to be your daughter right now, what you gonna do? What's your plan of action?
I don't have a plan yet. I just do the best I can.
So watch this. How can you edify? How can you lift her up? How can you be an example in the now? You can't correct anything that's already been laid out. All you can now do is create a new set of options. And guess what? These options have to be intelligent options, ideological options, concepts, ideas. Maybe the universe is putting you in front of her right now because you know something that her mama don't. You know something that she don't.
Plenty of things she don't.
Exactly. So imagine how that could change the trajectory of her thinking just by being in your presence.
Yeah. And also, I didn't add, too, she's in Detroit. I'm in Jacksonville, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like we very apart. You know, I ain't seen this person since, like I said, 1990, whatever. It's crazy.
So if it turns out that that's your daughter, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is the one word that comes to mind that could help her in her situation right now that you could provide? What is the one word that comes to your mind? I know the word I got. Let's see if you pick up.
Wisdom.
Yeah. Okay. Wisdom. I could smoke a bag of that.
Knowledge.
Knowledge. I all that.
Right.
I'm gonna say it again. Presence.
Present.
In order for you to give her the knowledge and the wisdom, you got to be present in some capacity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. It might not be in person, but it could be, you know, through communication.
Right. And then if this is indeed your child, you got a grandchild coming.
Right. And the third one.
Yeah. Presence.
Never knew. And I'm a person right now. I've been living this the whole time. No kids.
Wow. Well, here we go.
That's what I'm saying. This is heavy. That's what I'm saying. This is heavy for me.
Yeah. Yeah. You're going to have to understand. First off, you got to break up with the past. Whatever decisions that were made in the past were made to lead you to this moment right now. Every decision you've ever made is leading to these. Watch this. When you get in contact with this woman, when you get that blood test, when you find out, it's all leading up to what you're going to do in that moment. So you can't go back and undo anything. You can't go back and relive any part of your life.
No, I wish I could.
So now you're going to have to be, watch this. You're going to have to be present for your daughter, if that's your daughter, and you're going to have to be present for your grandbaby in a way that you weren't back in the day. You understand? That's not living in the past, what I'm telling you right now. What I'm saying is now you're going to have an opportunity to be who you thought you were supposed to be back then if you would have been told that that was your kid. You understand? And so you about to get an opportunity. Look at that. Man, thank you for the call, brother. I appreciate it.
I mean, yeah, I think it's a test. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
You gonna pass or what?
Of course, I gotta pass. I'm too late in life to be still messing up, you know?
I like it. So you're accepting of the challenge.
Yeah, of course.
There it is.
She said she wanted to do a paternity test. I said, yeah, let's do it.
There
I ain't
you
gonna
go.
cause that girl no further strain. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's good shit, man. And you know what? You're a great example of a good father, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Oh, yeah. Mary Brown in the chat room just said something very powerful to you, man. She said, you just need to remove all judgment. Being 26 years old with 2.5 kids isn't the worst thing in the world. She said there are some worse things out there. So if you're going to help her, you can't help her with judgment. You can't help her with condescension. And you can't jump into being a daddy instantly.
That's true.
You got to, let me tell you right now, you know, you got to come in as a mentor, as a father figure that just so happens to be her father.
Be a friend first.
You underdig? You got to be patient, and you can't condescend and come in with entitlement, because you know how parents are. We are entitled to our kids.
Yeah.
God damn it, when I call you, answer the phone. You saw my name,
Right.
You know how we do. So you got to put
old school.
Yeah, you got to put all of that aside. You underdig? You got to put all of that aside. All right? Come in as a mentor. Come in without judgment. Come in objective. And come in as a giver. All right? And then let things evolve naturally.
Yeah.
All right? Thank you for the call, man. I appreciate you reaching out. One-on-one coaching.
Advice, bro.
Hey, man, it's all good, bruh. Appreciate you now. Man, that was heavy for the first call. One-on-one coaching with Zoe Williams. Who's afraid of the big bad Zoe? Get at me right now. The number to dial is 323-230-4610. One-on-one coaching with Zoe Williams, how to befriend grief. The reason why I chose the how to befriend grief thing, man. Shit, man. TMZ reports that Rick Ross, man, is on life support. You know, there's a machine, you know, doing all of the functions for his heart and his lungs. Rick Ross has been hooked up to a machine that's taking over the function of his heart and lungs right now, according to sources connected to the music mogul. Rick Ross is in a Miami area hospital getting treatment in the cardiac unit, a strong sign he might have suffered a heart attack, which manifested itself as respiratory issues earlier Thursday morning. Feel bad for that brother, man. He's got a baby girl, and, you know, a lot of people don't understand something. Let me tell you something about life, man. Life is an illusion. And not all, let's see, a lot of people got life twisted. A lot of people think life is about living in the moment. You know what I mean? Let me tell you, Phil, living in the moment, meaning, nigga, let's turn up, nigga. We only got one life to live, my nigga. Let's get out here, man. Let's turn it. No. Life is about the procurement of meaning. You understand? You'll find that when you get older, you're going to realize that it wasn't the places we went to that made it fly. It wasn't the music. You know, it was the homies. It was the friendships. It was the connection of the people that are really down like 4 flat tires that makes those excursions meaningful. Because let me tell you, when you get older, you're going to find a lot of this shit just gets boring anyway. Especially, like, I'm an old man. I've been in hundreds of relationships. You know how many times I've heard Jodeci with different women? Or Michael Jackson with different women? Or Prince with different women? Like, It's the same background music for every movie scene. That should get old. So if you're not procuring meaning, then all of that shit just becomes rather mundane and just whatever. You get what I'm saying? So people are, and it's been my experience that people are just caught up on the turn up. And when it comes to something meaningful, people tend to pull away because when you're doing something meaningful, it calls on you to be present. And a lot of times, most people are using these things as a means of escapism to get away. Most niggas really don't want to see themselves. In seeing yourself, that's where you find the most meaning. That's been my experience. Yeah, underdig. Man, come on, get to your phone lines. The number to dial is 323-230-4610. One-on-one coaching with Zoe Williams. How to befriend grief. Man, if you're dealing with a loss right now, you know, do you have a ritual? One of my rituals is no matter what cell phone I have since 2009, my mother's phone number is still in it. She passed in 2009. Her number is still in the phone. Every now and again, I'll go in the phone and look up her number just to be like, okay, there go mom's digits. You know, when she first passed, hell, I wound up calling that motherfucker a couple of times. It happens, man. What's your ritual? Call me right now, one-on-one, coaching with Zoe Williams. I'm on the line right now. Caller, what's your name and where you calling from? Speak on it. You got to turn your entire apartment building down. Hello, caller.
Hello.
What's happening?
What's happening?
What's the deal?
How do you get over a passing of a brother? Meaning your younger brother.
Tough. How old was he?
39.
Young brother. How old are you?
41.
All right. So you spent your whole life with him, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Yep. So what did he pass from?
He passed from complications of cancer.
Yeah. So let me ask you the question. Was he struggling in terms of pain? Was he uncomfortable? All right.
He was struggling. Yeah, he was struggling with everything, just mental, physical, spiritual.
So in
life in general.
So in a way, his passing was a kind of mercy for him. Yes or no?
Yes.
Right? A kind of mercy for him. And in his passing lies the keys to your liberation from your guilt. Are you guilty? Do you feel like you didn't do enough? Do you feel like you didn't support him enough?
Yeah, I felt like I didn't do, I don't know. I didn't, you know, you think of all the things that you could have done and, you know, should have done, and those things come in mind, you know, after the fact, after, you know, things have, you know, are done.
Right. So understand this. Understand the natural ebb and flow of life. The natural ebb and flow of life tells us this: death is essential and important to the balance of living, correct?
Correct.
So life and death, which governs all of this illusion we live in, said, hold on, he's suffering, it's his time, which was a mercy and a kind of grace for him. Now, if you would accept that belief, if you would accept that's what life did for your brother, you could then unlock the prison of guilt you've placed yourself in. Because really, are you a doctor? Are you a herbalist? Are you a nutritionist? Are you in the field of, are you a healer?
No.
So why put that on yourself?
Exactly.
Do you understand? Let me tell you something about love. I'm about to prove something. Do you love your brother?
And with I loved him more than anything.
ED? Because I don't believe love has a past tense. I mean, we could spell it loved, but do you love him is the question.
Yes. Yes.
Then love exists beyond the grave. So, which feeling and emotion are you putting more emphasis on? Are you putting more emphasis on your guilt, which is about you? Or are you putting more emphasis on your love for your brother, which is about him?
I was put more on the guilt.
Exactly. You want to stay in jail?
No.
Then just love your brother without your guilt.
That's true.
Make sense?
True indeed.
Yeah?
That makes a lot of sense.
All right, then. Thank you for the call, man. I got you, famo. Anytime. Call me, bro. Anytime, man.
Love you, so.
It's all good. Love you too, bro. Same to you. Hey.
All right. Take care.
Who wants to get this Hey, he wants to get this coaching. Zoe Williams is in here coaching right now. I'm coaching. I'm going to walk you through your issue. Don't be afraid to call in. We got so many people who are disconnected from love, who are disconnected from, how to express love because of their ego. Oh, I'm going to look bad, or, this going to make me feel some kind of way. You know what I mean? Fuck all that. That's the dumb stuff that keeps you disconnected from the power of your being. Man, love that man. My mama's still here. We've already proven it. Science has, anyway. Nobody ever goes away. You underdig? Nobody ever goes away. And you know what keeps people in separate little boxes? Man, ideas are damn near worse than physical prisons, because once an idea sets up shop in your brain, it's damn near impossible to get that idea uprooted. Let me tell you something about the neurosynaptic connections in your brain. They create pathways. The more you use them, the more ingrained and the easier they are to access. It's like a record. So guess what? If you were raised in fear, man, the neural connections, the neurosynaptic connections that are connected to fear-based shit, anxiety, all of that is easy to access, because that's how your brain, let me say it another way. Those are the streets you're familiar with. Just see your brain as a pathway of streets, just a network of streets in your neighborhood. You know how you knew every block in your neighborhood, especially around fucking Halloween? Halloween, I knew alleys. I knew every street. I knew how to get everywhere, man. Walking everywhere. I knew every street, period. That's how your brain is. It's a pathway of roads. And these roads represent thoughts. They represent emotions. They represent feelings. They represent experiences. And the more you walk down those streets in your mind, the more ingrained they become. So it is the idea that says, damn, I wish I could have did more for my brother. Well, that idea becomes a prison. Because if you're not a doctor that specializes in cancer or specializes in whatever, you're not an herbalist, you're not Dr. Sebi, then why would you put that responsibility on yourself? Now you're making it about you. You understand? Phone lines are open. 101 coaching with Zoe Williams. How to befriend grief. Callers, you're on the line. What's your name and where you calling from? Speak on it. Caller. 1212. Caller, you're on the line. I'll drop him. All right, caller, you're on the line. The phone lines is cracking, though. Caller, what's up?
What's up, Sophie, bro? Hey, Keith from the IE. How you doing?
From the IE, what's up, man?
Oh, well, check it out, Ray. You mentioned these things a couple times. Like, bro, you been mentioning. Check it out. You always say, don't let your side piece be your getaway.
I said that? Okay.
On a few times, you know what I'm saying? It's subjects when, Corey be the end of the things and might bring up a topic we need to go into when he mentioned, like, nigga take care of his home, do his little thing, but he dip out and do what he need to do sometimes to come back home and be happy again.
Mm-hmm.
And you had to, I remember it's a couple little, like I said, these little stingers, little zingers. You be saying, like, hey, you can't let your side piece be your getaway because it's still catastrophe.
Mm-hmm.
So I was wondering, could you elaborate on that a little bit? Similar situation, but then kind of like long story short. But
this is something you're going through right now?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to just make it simple. Typically, side pieces bring relief from whatever stress.
Okay.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Whatever stress we've put on ourselves. That's typically a side piece's job. You get to go over there and forget about all the other shit you got cracking somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Now, although, yeah, it's a cool little vacation and it's a cool little, getaway from, what you're responsible for, but it's also low-key weak.
Okay.
And what makes it weak is whatever situation you're trying to get away from, you're partly responsible for creating in the first place. So to run away and leave somebody else maintaining and managing a mess that two people created is weak. And
even if you're being forward and even if from the beginning,
all that. And
all that. Okay.
Yeah, and for me, I've been where you are. I've been where you are. You understand? I've been in a mess. I've been in several messes. And I'm just going to say, man, in hindsight, I should have cleaned up the mess before I tracked it into another situation. Because that's typically what you do. When you get the side piece popping, what you've technically done now is tracked the current mess into a new situation. Regardless of...
It's temporary. Yeah, it's temporary just gratification.
Exactly. So, I would say this, and it would depend on the level of investment you have in the mess. Meaning, do you have kids? Are you sharing a mortgage? Is your money, is your enterprise, is everything tied into the mess?
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly. A lot of that is tied in. Kids are grown now, but like you said, a lot of things are tied in, been down for it, been down for me. Down, vice versa.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Okay, so but they'll bring the marriage thing into it, but then certain things. I'm like, hey, I have less to bring to the table, like you say, the marriage thing. I mean, all the things as far as the child support, all that. We done went closed the case. We done, like I said, had my back with 4 flat tires. Same vice versa, but the physical attraction is just, that's the problem. Mentally, cool. The physical attraction is what I like what I like.
Right. Well, and then at the end of the day, if you're at the end of your attraction to this person and also at the end of your obligation, clean that up and dismount that relationship in a neat and respectful way. But don't create a new problem after y'all done came out of child support on the end successfully. Y'all done got off the kids. They grown. Man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I'm still paying for this shit. So I'm being got you, but the marriage, it's like she just wants the validation of other people, of more of her folks. And I'm like, okay, we get married, fine. Okay, I got child support. If you want to get liens and all this type of shit, if you want to move forward with, you know what I'm rocking with, you know what it's about. So I'm like, we can get married, but if it's not, it's really, like you said, it's more of a business contract. I agree with everything as far as the marriage thing.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Do you love her?
Yeah.
Do you do? No.
Not what?
You know what I mean now. Goddamn it! I don't mean. Come on, man. Do you
And
love this
and
woman?
love, I mean,
You don't
let's put it like this.
You don't
like,
sound like it.
I love her. It's like you said, I don't know if it's just at the end of certain things. Like, you see what I'm saying? I mean, I love her to death, but I couldn't trust nobody else. I trust her.
So I'm gonna say it again. Do you love her?
Yes, Yes.
Because this is my thing. This is what I'm gonna tell you. Don't marry nobody you don't love. That's a prison. And if you say you love a girl, but
not enough to marry, so that don't mean I love her. I wouldn't see his marriage now. I wouldn't see that.
Is this okay? Is this about your own personal freedom?
I would hope not. I'm really trying to grow up from this, and I'm wondering at the end we need to go our separate ways. We done set intervals. We done read the book. Well, she read the book.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Any woman listening to this show right now and listening to you hem and haw would say, this ain't somebody that should be marrying anybody.
Correct. I totally agree.
And I would also say that if your woman can't see that in you, then you might be right. She might just want the validation of just being married. Because to be able to see that in a man, I'm listening to what you're saying right now, and you not really, you ain't got no parts of her. You don't want no parts of her no more. You looking at the end of the tunnel, you saying, hey, I'm still low-key attractive. I can still pull. I'm finna get out here and see what's cracking. That's what you saying.
Oh, no, I think I'm at the end of that, too. Like you said, I'm tired of that. Like, I could do that, but whatever. You see, but I don't want to settle.
Hey, there are a lot of ladies right now in the chat room. They saying you're confused. And I think you are confused.
I would agree. I'm just trying to get clarity on certain things. You see, because I'll go a certain way. Okay, this is the other thing. Capricorn, December 24th. Her birthday is December 28th. My daughter's is January 5th. We have no balance in the damn house. We all Capricorns.
Well, whose fault is that? Next time, plan some babies. Don't just be skeeting. You just skeeting at random times of the year. That's what you got.
I mean, but it's real. I mean, certain little intervals, like I said, go more into it, but it's like, I sacrifice certain little things, which like as the man it should, but it's like at the end of the rope, I got outside kids, but at the end of the day, I just want to make the right decision.
How old are you, brother?
40.
Does she cook?
Yeah.
Does she clean?
I help. We do the. No. That's the other little problem. Yeah. As far as my mom from below, Belize type thing. So I would say she's Americanized. So yeah, though the cleaning, it's like the bathroom is her A1 place, but for organization and household, it's like, come on now.
Well, listen.
And I have a certain standard.
I'm gonna say it right now. The ladies in the chat room have pegged you right. You're confused, bro. And this is what I'm gonna tell you about this.
Okay.
Don't marry that woman while you're in disarray internally.
I totally agree.
Because if you cross the line, you marry her, she's gonna have expectations that come with, okay, now I got a husband. And if you not up on it, you're not really down with it, you're not really 100%. I like to hear it when coaches say, you got both feet in, or because you can't have one foot in the circle with us and one foot out. You gotta have both feet in. So if you're gonna get married to this woman and y'all been through hell and high water, a couple of kids, and she really ain't that damn bad, boy, you better be down like 4 flat tires, because otherwise you're gonna break that woman's heart and you're gonna make this shit terrible. Is that what you want to do?
I can see that. I I could see that. I could agree with that. But totally, I wouldn't be, if I'm not all in, I'm not going to get married.
All right,
Like
well
I
then
said, plus
just
I got
tell her
too
the
many
truth.
issues. I got a lot of baggage. I wouldn't be deemed the person to be married to.
All right, well there you go. All right, well I appreciate the call, man. Thank you for reaching out, bruh.
All right, champ.
Damn, people going through it right now. Don't be afraid to call in. Don't be afraid to get some of this one-on-one coaching with your brother. All right? Yeah, he ain't ready. He just want to play games. He want to see if he can still pull a little young 30-year-old piece. You know what I'm saying? That's what he want to see. He want to see if he still got it. Hey, you're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on Dash Radio. One-on-one coaching tonight. How to befriend grief. Lot of people out there struggling and suffering. Just call me right now. The number to dial is 323-230-4610. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name and where you calling from? Speak on it.
Hey, what's up, Zoe? This is Stedman from Jersey.
Stedman from Jersey. What's up, bro?
Hey, man, not much. I've been listening, and you said, what are some ways we deal with grief? And so my mom passed when I was 24. I'm the youngest of 5.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm 28 now. And while even thinking about it, it's making me sad. But, yeah, but some of the ways I deal with it is just knowing that everything that she did up to that point was for me to get this far in life. So that kind of helped me out. And then also meditation. So those are the two things.
What type of meditation do you do?
Just, I'm not sure of the phrase, but I read Russell Simmons' book, and I learned a few techniques from him. And yeah, that's the type of meditation I do.
All right. Well, I appreciate you sharing with the folk, man. A little meditation go a long way, man. Thank you so much for the call. We appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name and where you calling from? Speak on it.
Hey, Zoe.
Hey, what's happening?
Hey, brother. How you doing, man? Let me turn this down.
Yeah, your life. What's happening, bro?
I think I had you. Hey, man, listen. I've been a long-time listener. I appreciate you, brother. And I promise you, man, I got something big for you in terms of that Cash App, man. I'm gonna bless you, man.
Oh, wow.
You've been helping out. You've been helping a lot of people, man, and I truly appreciate it. But
thank you.
I wanted to maybe you can lend some. Oh, by the way, I'm G from Atlanta.
Thank you, G from Atlanta. Welcome to the show, brother. Holla at me now.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna tell you how I went through a little process and got some resolution, but maybe there's something still hanging out there that you, in your wisdom, would be able to elaborate on. I was involved with a beautiful sister, man, beautiful on the inside. Well, I'll say the mask was beautiful, and I'm the type of brother that I immersed myself, man. I got into it, and I probably was a little premature in making some decisions. I let her move into my house. And then, we had a small place, and we ended up getting a bigger house. And over the time that we were together, I made some big financial moves and, bought her a car, an expensive car, and bought another car for the house, and did all of those kinds of things. But she agreed. She's like, well, you can buy the car, and I'll pay for it. I'm like, okay, fine. You can pay for it, because she was doing well in her business.
Okay.
Man, and it just, I don't know, just overnight, something happened. And it wasn't through anything that I can say that I did specifically, because I'm not a cheater, so I never stepped out on her. I'm home every night. I'm not a disrespectful brother. I didn't mistreat her, abuse her, or anything like that. But it was just like a switch came on, and all of a sudden she became a different person. And she became verbally abusive. And, I'm not going to let anybody be physically abusive, but she was verbally abusive. And I was just kind of tolerant to it. One day we actually did. I couldn't take it anymore, and I said, we got to go. Well, I found out, man, that she had not made any payments on that car, and we're talking about like a $40,000 investment. She hadn't made one dime, and I had to pay for the house, I had to pay for the car, I had to pay for all these things, and she just walked away. I wasn't bitter, and I have to say that I wasn't, because I understand something that you say all the time, that these challenges basically are an opportunity for us to grow. And if we can see ourselves through that process, then it's really a benefit to us.
So what did you see about yourself in that?
Well, I think what I saw in myself is that I saw I was maybe a little too eager.
I was going to say, are you a pleaser?
Yeah, I would say that that's what I was doing. I was stepping outside of my own self to try to make somebody else happy, or try to create a harmonious situation, if you understand.
Where is the origin of harmony in a relationship?
I want to say that it is through mutual communication and understanding.
And therein lies the flaw. Harmony comes from within. Happiness comes from within. Completion comes from within.
Yes.
Right? Contentment comes from within. Whenever there's an external push to maintain happiness externally, that's when you know you're off the reservation.
Yes.
When you're in the process of doing a bunch of things to keep the relationship going, you have less resources for being who and what you are.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm one who believes that the universe is merciful. And if you speak into the universe, it will eventually give you what you want, even if it's a painful process.
Yeah.
And I used to say to myself, you know what, I deserve more than this. I deserve better than this. And one day things came to a head and everything just exploded in my face. And it took me months to get out of that initial financial blow, months. But I was able to do so.
Do you have any kids with this woman?
No, we didn't have any children.
Were you guys married?
No, but I thought we were heading in that direction.
Brother, listen, the universe just helped you dodge a bullet.
Exactly.
So you good.
Right. But I still had to go through the classroom. I still had to do the work.
Now, guess what? If we look at your classroom, could we consider that classroom a really difficult classroom? You probably got cussed out a few times. You got into a few arguments or whatever. But you made it out with no kids, no debt, and you're not with a person who doesn't really value you.
Exactly.
So you dodged
and
a
that's
bullet.
what I meant.
Yeah.
Well, but I had to go through that to understand that.
Right.
And what I experienced and what I really got out of the experience at the end was that, number one, I'm not going to be that guy, that pleaser anymore. I'm not going to stop being who I am. I'm a generous brother. I'm open to my resources, and with the right person, I will share what I have.
Well, the only way for you to determine what the right person is or who the right person is, the only way for you to determine that is for you to put all of your beliefs, right, that actually do the picking of the person for you. You got to put all of those beliefs on trial, because all of those beliefs are guilty of choosing the last person.
Yes.
In the dig?
I do.
All right. Well, hey, brother, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for calling and sharing that. We appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the call, man. Man, people are sharing tonight. You didn't expect them to be doing this, did you, Phil? Yeah, they sharing tonight, boy. They sharing how they feel about life. It's a hard thing to swallow, man, when you just get caught up in that bullshit. But that bullshit always has something for you, always has something to teach you. Hey, Phil, do me a favor, man, because people are saying in the chat room that the good brother Rick Ross passed. Can you check? Can you check on like TMZ.com? I want to see, because the last I checked, he was still on life support. So I want to be able to because just want to be able to report on that if that in fact is the case. Because there's a lot of people, man, dealing with, a lot of people out there in relationship don't know how to deal with death. I'm gonna tell you something about death that should help you understand. Right? And TMZ didn't say anything? All right, so no updates yet. Cool. Well, let me tell you something about death. In the Sanskrit language of the ancient Indians or Hindus, the word Maya means magic or illusion, a fundamental concept in Hindu philosophy, right? And basically, it means illusion, right? Sometimes we spend our whole fucking lives building a life. I want to build a life with you. I want to build this and I want to have this. And I remember all this doing, all this stimulation, not enough being, not enough extrapolation of meaning out of the moment that you're here for. Because that dash, wherever year you were born to whatever year you die, there's that dash where you live. That dash is really finite. It's really finite. And you should spend most of your time extrapolating meaning out of your interactions. But here we are building buildings around an illusion. This life is an illusion. You understand? I need y'all to understand that. So if the universe or God or whatever you want to, whatever name you want to put on it, the universe puts you in a position to have people around you that give you experiences, that share things with you that are all designed to uplift you. And sometimes getting lifted up doesn't feel good. Sometimes getting lifted up actually hurts, especially if you're holding on to an idea of a consciousness level that you've probably outgrown. You under dig? It's a cold world. I'm taking the callers. I see y'all. Let me do this real quick, though. I want to play the Zozo record to refresh our palate. And then I'm coming back to the phone lines. Get to your phone lines right now, 323-230-4610. You're listening to the Voice of Reason on Dash Talk, 101 Coaching with Zoe Williams. I am the Voice of Reason. If you're going through some stuff, I'm the guy to advise you, to walk you through the process. Please call me, 323-230-4610. We'll be right back.
I'm calling you up, I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need a love doctor, and I need it right away. I'm calling you up, I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need to hear the doctor's voice of reason.
Yo, so I got this two-timing chick who got her revenge from when I was on my two-time tip. And even when I tried to correct it, she couldn't get past how she was disrespected, neglected my effort, a pair with no trust, dirty games and affairs that been tearing us up. If things ain't picture perfect, is it really worth it? I have an idea, but I need to know for certain.
I'm calling you up, I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need a love doctor, and I need it right away. I'm calling you up, I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need to hear the doctor's voice of reason.
Williams, the voice of reason, back in the building. We just had to take a quick break, man, because sometimes the callers could get a little heavy, man. The information could get a little heavy. If you're just tuning in, I'm coaching people tonight. Zoe Advisements. One-on-one coaching with Zoe. Man, tough night tonight, man. My homeboy, well, he's not my homeboy, but one of my favorite books, written by David R. Hawkins, MD, PhD. He created a map of consciousness. And what he found out through the study of kinesiology is that lies make you weak, the truth makes you strong. And he broke the science down to the type of words that we use, right? And basically, there is a consciousness grid that he created. At the bottom of the consciousness grid is shame and guilt. You know how many motherfuckers are shamed by loved ones? Shamed by your mama, shamed by your father, shamed by your grandmama. Shame and guilt are at the bottom of this consciousness grid, right? Damn. The emotion that accompanies these levels, and the levels that he's speaking of is shame and guilt, is self-hatred. So imagine black people who are dark-skinned but want to be white. Lowest level of consciousness is shame and guilt. And the manifestation, the emotional manifestations at this level is self-hatred. And the process going on in consciousness is one of self-destruction. I'm gonna change everything about me. I don't like anything about me. I don't care about myself. I don't mean anything to me unless I change it into something that I've idealized. The view of the world associated with this energy field is that of sin and suffering. Look at our religions. They're built on sin and suffering. They're built on judgment. And that's the bottom of the consciousness grid that Dr. David R. Hawkins created. Bottom of the consciousness grid, the grid that registers the least amount of energy, shame and guilt. It has a score of 20 and 30, respectively. Next on that grid, you get apathy, score is 50. Where there's apathy, there's hopelessness, despair, despondency, and depression, right? But as you go up higher, a little higher, with more energy than apathy, is grief. Score is 75, right? Now you're moving up. There's more energy in grief, but grief is centered around regret and loss. Listen, anything that is lost is gone and cannot be retrieved. And when I say lost, I mean really lost. It's gone, can't be retrieved. So there's a sense of finality there. And a lot of times people get broken down because when you have to face finality, the end of something. See, you can bullshit yourself through life because you know, oh, well, I still got another chance. Even though it don't look like it right now, I still got another chance. But when finality shows up through loss, that's when, you know, that's when they say, well, the shit gets real. You know, it gets real when finality shows up. But please understand, that is the nature of life, and you need to get used to it. The next on his consciousness grid is fear, 100. It has a score of 100, fear. Fear is the next energy field, which is also negative, but also contains a lot more energy than grief, right? Fear can spur a person on into action, right? You can, the fear of being a bum can make you the richest man in the world, right? Fear has a motivative quality, but it is also still negative because it comes with worry, anxiety, panic, Somebody said, Zoe, answer the phone. Denisha is calling. Answer the phone. Who do we have on the line? People want to get in. I'm sorry. Callers, you're on the line. What's your name and where you calling from? Whoever it is, let's get them on. Caller, you're on? Caller? See, Denisha's not calling. You guys have broke up a nice little session we got going. Caller. Let's see. Go to the next caller. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name and where you calling from? Speak on it.
What up?
What up? What's the deal, man?
Oh, nothing much, man. This is Trey Ness from Montgomery, Alabama. Can you reiterate the topic is grief, right?
How to befriend it, how to embrace it, how to get through it. Yeah.
Well, me honestly thinking about it and using myself as an example, I think that to really befriend grief, you have to come to a place of acceptance, like what you were saying earlier. Like, you can't really accept, well, you can't change the past, and you can't really worry about things that you can't change. You do it all the time. Like, if we fall 1 second, then, we harbor about that shit, the whole day, about this one little incident. And we do that with, like, our past relationships. Like, oh, damn, I wish I would have did this with this girl compared to what I actually did. Like, I could have asked to fuck her better than how I did. So we have these little things that we really regret. And it fucks us up, I guess, mentally, because time is short and life is short. And, eventually we harbor with, like, small shit till we're, like, 50 or some shit, and our whole life is gone. And we're regretting and having all those toxins, like, fuck our body up. And we're looking like fucking Kendall Jenner or whatever her name is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, brother, I mean, I appreciate what you just said. You talked about acceptance, and that is the key to befriending grief. And I appreciate you for sharing that information, good friend.
No doubt.
Thank you, man. Thank you for bringing Alabama into the building. If you want to bring your city into the building, all you have to do is get to the phone line, 323-230-4610. That's 323-230-4610. One-on-one coaching with Zoe Williams tonight is turned up. Caller, you're on the line. What's your name and where you calling from? Speak on it.
Yo, what's going on, Zoe?
What's happening, man? What's going on, fam?
This is Carlitos, man. I'm calling from Monroe, Louisiana.
Monroe, Louisiana. What's happening, man?
It's good, man. I'm glad you opened up the lines tonight. Been trying to get in contact with you via email, but we're talking about grief.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm researching my mother's life. My mother died when I was 7 months old.
Mm-hmm.
And my family never told me anything past the fact that she drowned. And as I was growing up, I asked about it, and it was a taboo subject. Once I got old enough to ask, those in-depth questions on detail, I was shied away from doing that. So when first chance I got out of high school, I got away from my family because I couldn't understand what was so wrong about me asking about my mom and, what type of people would keep that information from me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now I'm 39, and I've come back to my hometown here in Monroe, and all of my family is deceased.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm researching my mother's life still because I feel like nothing else is – I feel, as you were going through those levels of feelings, I feel somewhat down there at the beginning, ashamed of knowing more about Mama Africa than I do about my own mother. That's kind of what got this journey started,
Mm-hmm.
in my second part of life.
But do you see where the thinking is wrong? Like, just say what you just said. You feel ashamed because you know more about Mama Africa than you know about your own mother.
Right.
Well, why do you think that way? And do you see the flaw in the thought?
I mean, I understand that it wasn't my own choice not to know at this point, but I feel like I guess finding out who I am was the time and the gap in between then and now.
Wait a minute. Were you dependent on somebody else to tell you about your mother?
Growing up, I asked until I got about 12 years old, and like I said, I was kind of scolded. It was disrespectful at that point.
All right,
to
let
ask
me
about my
come
mom.
back, because again, you telling me that people refused to tell you the history of your mother. What happened to you? What happened to your mother, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so why, listen, I know I'm asking some straight questions and I'm getting like some roundabout, beat around the bush kind of answers. At the end of the day, you asked family members to tell you about your mother. Did they or did they not?
No, they didn't.
They did not. Cool. That's understood. The next thing, are you responsible for them to tell you, or are you responsible for them to answer your questions about your mother?
No, their reluctance to tell me is not my control.
That's out of your control. So why would you feel guilt because they didn't do something you asked them to do, which was share information about your mother? Your studies on Africa is because you went out and got the information. You were responsible and said, let me go find out about Mother Africa. Why would you be guilty? Why would you feel guilt because these people wouldn't share information about your mother?
I guess at the time of my life, I wasn't as adamant about it, as I was younger. And, all of a sudden, at probably around 33, it kind of hit me like, hey,
All
I
right,
don't know.
let me stop you again. You were asking from age what until 12?
5 until 12.
So you went on a 7-year run of asking.
Mm-hmm.
So why would you beat yourself up? How many bump into somebody and ask them, how long have you asked a question without getting an answer? Most people ain't gonna say 7 years.
Right.
You did your thing. You asked. And you got conditioned to basically shut up, right?
Right.
So why you beating up yourself for things that are out of your control? Do you now see the flaw in the thinking?
Yeah,
So,
I do.
So again, I'm showing you how we create and fortify bullshit based on limiting beliefs. You understand what I'm saying? From age 5 to 7, you asked your family members to explain to you the history of your mother, who your mother was, what happened to her. She passed. You want to know who she is. They refused to tell you. Okay, by 12, you stop asking. And now you feel guilty because you stop asking?
I feel guilty that I ran away from them for, kind of like, just, I don't know, reluctance, rebellion, just, okay, if you're not going to tell me about my mother, that's my only connection to my family. If you can't, confirm or verify that connection so that I can feel comfortable, I felt like an orphan, so I just left. I'll say, hey, I'll move away, be around real strangers. So
let me pull it back.
That time that I was away, I feel like now I should have went even harder. Like, I was grown at that time. I could have, whatever.
Again,
I could have pressed harder.
Let me bring it back. You're in a time machine that goes backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nothing you can undo, bro.
Right.
Just forgive and let go and move forward. Forgive, let go, move forward. Otherwise, you're going to poison your spirit.
Right. I want closure, though. I actually want to know about her.
Who you going to get the closure from?
Well, my mother was drowned mysteriously. I've been gathering information that says she's been intentionally drowned. I even have a witness that says that was out there that day. She was intentionally drowned. So
here's the part of the story we was waiting on.
Yeah.
Right. So your mother died under some strange situations and circumstances.
Correct.
There we go. Because everybody in the chat room is trying to understand what is going on. But now we know your mother died surrounding maybe some foul play, right?
Exactly.
And you want to know what happened, and nobody in the family is telling you what's happening. And now most of the people in the family is dead.
Correct.
Let it go. No. What? This is what I mean by let it go. You went to the police?
Yeah, I went to the police.
They didn't have nothing on it?
Yeah, they gave me the police statements, but they botched the investigation back then, and
Sure.
they don't feel like it's a priority now.
Okay.
So I feel like what I'm trying to do now is just, if I can get exposure, if I can get people asking, more people than me, then it becomes more of a, hey, you guys, you know what I'm saying, because it's something that's definitely within their power. The suspect, I know where he is, and I know where the witness is. I would love to have just a sit-down, to where I can hear his side and hear her side and let them, kind of, let me decide who I believe and what happened, whether it was an accident, like he says, or whether he intentionally left my mother out there to drown, like the witness says.
Yeah. See, now this is getting heavier and heavier. But let me just say this. Say you get your answers. How will that change you? What answer do you want to hear?
Man, that's a good question, Zoe. I guess
because I feel like you're looking for.
I don't want to wonder.
Yeah.
I want to confirm as much as I can. I know I won't answer all my questions, like what was her favorite color or anything like that. But if there's someone responsible for her death, and there's a witness that can confirm that, yeah, I want justice. That's my mother. There's nobody left. I feel that that is my obligation. That's why I can't let go. That's why I can't stop.
Right. Okay.
So that's what I'm doing.
And the police, they're helping you do this, right?
No. This is totally on me, Zoe. This is totally all me.
So let me just
news.
ask you a question. You think that they're going to, you say you know the guy who was there and you know the witness, right?
Yeah, I know where the guy is. I know that he's still alive. I don't know if he's, knows what I'm doing. But
is he family?
No, he's not family.
Wow. So let me
Never
ask
met
you.
him before.
If you I see, because I don't want to advise you to go reach out to this man. I don't.
No. I don't trust. Look, Zoe, this is my mother. I don't trust it. That's why I want a mediator type, like a,
yeah.
Man, you would be the perfect person. Just me, the witness.
Oh, you're not finna get me in there. I'm not finna be in that room. Nah. I'll do this from here. Right.
I want truth and closure. I don't want vigilante justice. I want truth and closure. I'll be okay with, maybe I can even forgive the guy. I mean, he spent time with my mom that I never had. Maybe he can tell me her favorite color. It's very hard to explain what I would want to know as a 7-month-old child. As much as I can, any kind of information is relevant. So,
right.
Yeah, that's what the documentary is about. I'm trying to just, bring light to the situation to where I'm not the only one asking. Maybe if it becomes a campaign of sorts, it will kind of shine a light on local government here, which are not cooperating.
Man, hey, listen, this is what we gonna do, because I want to help you do it too. Shit. I want to help you find out. When that documentary is done, send me the link. We will blast it out here on Dash Talk Radio, man. We will do that.
My mom, Christine Harris. It's on YouTube.
Who is my mom? Christine
Harris.
Christine Harris. Everybody who's listening right now, somebody in the chat room write that. Who is my mom? ? Christine Harris. I want everybody to go check out the documentary of this man's, deceased mother. And I'm just going to say this, man. As with everything, brother, closure is not an outside job. It's an inside job.
Yeah.
And I know for an outside exclamation point to say, boom, this is what happened. This is how it went down, blah, blah, blah. Now I know. But sometimes you got to be okay with no answer. You feel me?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for that, but I have to exhaust all options.
I got you. No.
my mother was
You're 100% right. You got to exhaust all options. Man, I appreciate it, bro. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's a pleasure, man.
Oh, no, the pleasure was mine. Thank you for sharing your story, brother.
No problem. Oh, and by the way, that's just a snippet. I have a snippet that's 3 minutes, 28 seconds, and I have an episode. This is an ongoing series because it's an ongoing investigation. So,
got you.
Just please support me and just look.
Man, thank you, brother. Appreciate you now.
Have a great one.
Wow. Yee. Ugh. People are calling in. I got some heavy shit going on too, man. I talked to Cole about it today. Like some heavy shit. Like an old person from the past is going through some real fucked up shit right now. And I don't know if I should support or not. But it's a significant person from the past, and they're going through a significant thing. So I'm like, ugh. See, I'm the type, Phil, I tend to stay the fuck out the way unless you call for me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not finna just volunteer. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I don't ever want it to be taken like, oh, this nigga, he ain't over it or he ain't letting it go. I don't ever want to be taken for that.
Yeah.
And that's my ego. And that's my problem. But it has come to my attention that somebody from my past, a significant somebody,
right,
is going through a significant thing. And I was like, fuck, should I reach out?
They haven't told you nothing?
They ain't said nothing to me. But my spirit is fucked. My spirit is like, nigga, like in my, and I think I was talking to, speaking of this, you guys got to be here. Wednesday. The homeboy seer Carl, I've been talking about this dude for a long time. He's a seer. He is a weird, dusty, sandy, grimy little white boy. But he's a seer. He's like a spirit seer. He's going to be here on Wednesday. I just talked to him today. And he was like, hey, man, don't beat yourself up for being a good person, man. He said, that's what's going on. Your ego is saying you don't want to look bad. You don't want to be condemned or labeled by the significant person for reaching out. But your spirit is saying you should reach out just because of the issue that's in play. I was like, fuck, I don't know.
That might be it right there.
That's what he said. So, wow, some crazy shit, man. That's why I had to do this show today. Because there's some people out there dealing with some real tough shit. Are you one of those people? The number to dial is 323-230-4610. I mean, we're just in here going at it right now. Callers is calling in with their real life stories. Who's on the line? Caller, what's your name and where you calling from? Speak on it.
Philip Jarvis. I'm calling from Slidell, Louisiana.
What's happening, man?
What's going on with you?
What's the deal?
And the cool part about it is, peep this. I peep game, and I appreciate you, man. Because you sound just like the brother, but I'm still watching as I'm talking to you.
Okay, because I'm like, what's going on? Like, are we in the middle of the conversation? Talk to me, man. What's happening?
No. We no. You know what's crazy? Oh shit! I'm getting a playback. My bag. I'm getting a playback. Just hold on for 1 second, man. I didn't even think I was fucking connected to you, bro. Hold on. Yeah, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man, because I you see how I just played you like, hey, man, you sound just like the brother, but it ain't really you. No, man. Let me get off this goddamn porch and get to the street. Listen, I just did like 20 years in the penitentiary. My wife, I met her. We was at like a little work release thing, and she did like 7 years in the penitentiary. And I feel like at times I'm bogged down by this relationship. I married her. We just had a baby on the 1st of February, and I just feel somewhat like I'm bogged the fuck down, and shit just ain't going my way. We was living in Seattle, Washington, or well, Tacoma, Washington, excuse me, and we moved down to Louisiana where all my family's at, and I just, at times, man, I just feel like I'm fucking bogged down. I don't have no kind of real life peace, I guess you can say. All I do now, I just sit on the porch now. That's all I do. I'm on the porch now talking to you. Well, I'm off the porch because I think that her ass she's so damn snoopy. You know, I just feel like, I'm serious, man. I'm in the middle of the fucking street, and I'm praying to God that she don't fucking hear me. And I think that maybe I think that maybe I need some kind of freedom, but I don't want to leave her at all, period. Point blank. I'm not trying to leave. I'm not trying to get away from her or anything like that. I think that me getting out the penitentiary, as I told her when I first met her, I just got out of an abusive relationship, speaking about the penitentiary.
Right.
And now you want me to get back into a relationship that I don't know which way it's going.
So can I just interject here for a second?
Yeah, please.
It seems like getting in the relationship was a rush to be normal.
Yeah.
Right? And maybe you should have given yourself a little bit more time once you got out to just adjust. Right? Because just based off of what you said, coming out of the penitentiary was like getting out of an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
Right? So sometimes when you get out of all times when you get out of an abusive relationship, you need that time to readjust, to recalibrate, to shift back into a safe space. Out, you went right into the business of being regular, getting normal.
I don't know if you're familiar with a work release or pre-release or whatever it is. It's like you go to the penitentiary and then they let you out like a few months later, a few months prior to your actual end date of your penitentiary term, and they put you in this house, and this is why they call it work release out here in, well, at least up there in Washington, because you have the opportunity to live in a normal house, to eat normal food, you're around so-called normal people, and you're in a community, and you got a chance to get a job and reacclimate yourself back to society.
Right.
And I really honestly didn't get that because I met her. I was in one part of the work release, and she was in another part of the work release. She had just gotten out of prison, just like I had. And you're right. I never got to reacclimate myself with society again. And I was extremely violent. I'm still kind of, teetering on that violent shit. But but since then, since I gotten out, I haven't had any too many run-ins with any violent situations or anything like that. Just working, coming home. I brought her down to Louisiana twice since she's been out since 2015, and I moved us down here in October of last year. And I'm just trying to, really make this shit happen. But I just feel like I'm suffocating in a sense. But
are you married?
But I didn't want to.
Did you marry her?
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Shit. Here we go.
Yeah, I know, and I wouldn't want to leave her at all.
How old are you?
Even if we didn't. 42.
Oh,
43
brother.
this year.
Yeah, you grown man now. How old is she?
Yeah, I know, and I did. She's only 33. She just turned 33 this February.
Boy, you got a young one too. You got a young one.
Yeah. But the cold part about it is, and the reason why it's guilt, and I understand that the narrative of the topic of the show, grief and everything.
So right now you feel guilty if you leave her.
I would feel fucked up if I left her.
Yeah.
I would feel.
Let me just ask you: did you use her to get out? Did she?
No,
being with her made you look better, and that helped them make their decision.
No, not anything like that. The thing that made me make that decision is that she ran down her life up until the time she went to prison, up until the time she met me, and it was a horrendous life. I mean, it was really bad. I mean, a terrible life, man, just out there in the streets, bro. And you got to realize that she's only 33 now, and I met her approximately 3 years ago. So she was really young, and she did 7 years in the penitentiary prior to meeting me. You see what I'm saying? And she's got 2 kids. That's not by me. One of the kids got adopted out, closed adoption. She don't know where her first daughter's at. Her son, I'm fighting to get him back from his diabolical, demonic woman that refused to give her son back, and was an agreement on look after him. I got to go serve his time. I can't do anything for him right now, and so we just half-ass lost that case in Washington. I done spent out a lot of money. The money ain't a problem. I'm just saying that I done put a lot into the relationship, which I should have, and I'll do it again. I wouldn't change anything about it. It's just that I just got a whole lot of shit at, being as basically as young as I am. I'm 42, but I did 20 in the penitentiary, and the shit is just, and if you can just offer any type of direction or guidance
I'm about to give you one word.
Okay.
Patience.
All right.
You're overwhelmed, but you need to be patient.
All right.
You understand? That's just one word, patience.
Yes, sir.
Because you running from pillar to post, and you're trying to do everything, and you don't know if you did the right thing, and now you're wondering if you move too fast in the relationship. Damn, I got to pay for this, and I'm looking at these kids. I'm trying to get her kids. Slow down. Breathe.
Slow down. All right. I got you.
Yes. Slow down.
I got you.
Breathe. And just understand. Go ahead.
Yep. No, well, I was just saying that, I got a whole lot of things that I want to do. And it sounds corny, but I design jewelry. And it's really good jewelry. It's not no, on the side of you in Arizona somewhere, and the Native Indians are selling you some shit that they done carved out of wood, which it's not a bad thing, but it's nothing like that. It's real live jewelry that I taught myself how to make, and I excelled at it once I got out of the penitentiary. I learned how to make it in the joint, got out and excelled at it, learned new methods and everything like that.
Listen, you still not listening. Yeah. Do you even sense your own energy right now?
I think that my energy really is chaotic, man.
It is. You're like a chaotic hamster on that wheel, and you just, as soon as you get a head of steam, you just doing too much. Slow down. Trust me. You're going to if you use what I'm telling you to do right now, you're going to appreciate it later on. Slow down.
All right. Just slow down, take it day by day, and don't really put too much worry in everything.
Watch this, moment by moment.
Okay.
Moment by moment. You seem like an idea person too, right?
Yeah.
Then write them. Catalog those ideas. You might not be able to execute the idea right now, but if you write it down, you'll be able to go back and refer to the idea later when you may have the resources to bring it about.
Okay.
Patience with your life, brother. You're 42 years old. You're still a young man. Patience with your life.
Okay.
As it pertains to your woman, take the judgment out of it.
There's that judgment that's there, but then at the same time, I'm not judging. I accept my wife totally is the way she is, man. I accept my wife, and I completely trust my wife. There's things that I don't trust her ass with, but at the same time, I still trust my wife with no doubt about that. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, there was just never no me time, and the me time came when I got off work.
So watch this.
Yeah.
Build it into the relationship moving forward.
Okay. How do I do that?
You build me time into the relationship for you and your woman. Hey, this is what we're going to do. I want you to sit down and tell me what you think about this idea. This is what I want you to do. This is what I want us to do. I want us to be together, but I also want us to maintain our independent identities. I have it in my CD. It's called Balancing Togetherness and Individuality. Right? So if Her individuality is, I like to paint, I like to draw, I like to write. Build that into your relationship moving forward. Meaning, listen, on Friday or on Saturday nights or on Sunday mornings, I like to be by myself for 2 to 3 hours painting and drawing. I don't like to be bothered. Painting, drawing, writing, right? Build that into the relationship. You do the same thing, right? Whatever it is that you get down. Hey, I'm a musician. I want to hang with the guys and maybe go to the studio. And we want to vibe for 3 or 4 hours without being bothered, unless it's an emergency or something like that. But yo, I want to be able to go hang out at the studio with my guys and just make some records. You got to build in your individuality to balance your togetherness, because you can't have.
You know what?
Go ahead.
Well, I totally get what you're trying to say, or what you are saying. I totally get it, brother, and you are absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried to do that in the beginning of the relationship. Once we got our apartment, I mean, I moved really, really fast after getting out the penitentiary, man. I mean, extremely fast, and people was.
That's clear.
It was just through hard. It's just through hard work, man, and just working and saving money and doing the best that I can. And I tried to build that this is my little space time. And I know this might be a little bit graphic, but it's not all that graphic. When I come home, when I was in Washington, I would come home from work and, you know, I would kiss the baby, kiss my wife, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to take a shower. And I go in the bathroom and I'd be in there for like 2 hours before I even get in the shower. Just detoxing, not just from the work day, but detoxing from just all the other shit that I got going on and the shit that I had prior to me getting into the relationship. And I understand that, you know, there's people trying to call in. We got connected. If you let the phone ring, you connect to the other person that's calling in. So I know there's a lot of people that's trying to call in, man. And I want to get your book, but you know, the finances and everything. You know, I drop a couple of dollars here on your show.
I got
whenever
you, man.
I get a chance, man.
I got you.
Bro, goddamn it, just one more thing, man. There's a dude that I was locked up with. They call him. His name used to be No Brains, but his name is Brains because he uses his brains.
Okay.
When I first seen you on a Corey Holcomb show, you reminded me of him. Just your speech, how you go about speaking. The brother is on point, just like you are. But it's just the if I didn't never see you, I would think that y'all two was one and the same person.
Like this nigga No Brains is on radio right now.
yeah, but brother, I do appreciate you, man. I used to like Ari Spears, and when you put the mitts on them, you know, put the motherfucking bows on whoever you run across that ain't on that ain't on the shit of, you know, us as black people progressing forward, whether they be Ari Spears or who the fuck ever, man. And bruh, I do appreciate you. Love to listen. Love your listeners and everything else, man. And I appreciate you. And I'm gonna just go ahead and try not to be that little chaotic ass hamster from this day forward. And hopefully I get the chance to either meet or talk to you again.
All right, thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
All right, bro. All right, man. Much love.
Wow. Jesus Christ. All right, Denisha Fry in here asked me to read her question. What is your question? You got to type it right now. What is your question? Tell me what it is so I can read it. I want to hear it. We in here trying to help folk tonight, man. This shit is crazy. Every time I do this, man, people call in, man. So what is her question? I don't see it. Oh, she was just playing. All right, cool. All right. We got callers on the line. Caller, what's your name and where are you calling from? Welcome to the Voice of Reason 101 coaching session with Zoe Williams. Speak on it.
Peace, Zoe. This is Brother Atun Amin from Chicago.
What up, Atun Amin from Chicago, who called in to Jeff Brown's show yesterday morning? What's happening?
Yes, sir. Man, I'm just calling the time, man. I kind of got something in common with the last caller that called in. Those anxious moments, I guess I suffer from anxiety. I'm pretty much like him, where there's a lot of anxious moments that are going on, like, and they cause a lot of issues between me and my my current mate.
Mm-hmm.
Where I'm a Leo, and I'm only 28. I'm a Leo, and you know I'm an African-centered atheist. and she is 28-year-old Capricorn.
Wait, slow down.
And so,
wait a minute. You said Afrocentric atheist?
yes, sir.
Okay. Before we move on, you got to tell me exactly what an Afrocentric atheist is. Ain't no God, brother.
I study African-centered spirituality or African philosophy and concepts, which it was more atheistic, which is just, anti-theos, to go against what they would consider, the Greeks would call the philosophers that would come back teaching African-centered education, with, they would go against the Greek-sponsored religion. So the Greek heads of state would call them atheos or anti-theos, to go against the Greek God, the Greek gods, or the Greek-sponsored religion, the state-sponsored religion.
Right.
So I'm more of, study of Voodoo, the Adinkra systems, and the Nile Valley culture, and things of that such.
But doesn't
the
spirituality
Abrahamic faith?
But doesn't spirituality imply God?
True, in a sense, in a form, God being the all,
Right.
God being,
So you're not really an atheist then. You're just against.
Well, I guess
you're just against white Jesus, white God.
Pretty much against all white religion. Yeah.
All white religion. That's what you're against. What? Hey, Afrocentric atheist. I'm getting a T-shirt.
I went from Baptist to Islam to Hebrew Israelite to Rastafari to dealing with Nile Valley culture and the Voodoo systems.
All right, cool. So talk to me, brother. What's your issue?
I have those anxiety issues where, I always want to microwave everything, and I have those chaotic moments of where when problems arise in my life or if some don't go my way, I immediately look at myself and like, man, what am I doing wrong? What can I change about myself? What is this moment teaching me? It's a lesson here for me to learn. I always try to seek lessons out of everything that I go through in life. And when it comes down to me and her, like, we butt heads all the time, at least 24/7. And I'll try to step back at times, and that don't work. And it's like, we'll try to, we'll argue about one thing, and then once one of us would give up and try to get the other one their way, it still doesn't work. It's
right.
Like we just always thought we've been best friends for 10 years. This is someone, when I was going through my divorce with my ex-wife.
Let me just tell you what it is, bro. You're a Leo, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just because your mane hasn't fully grown in. You're only 28. You're a young lion. Wise lions don't fight to implement their rule. You in the dig? Like, I'm listening. It's a battle of concepts, a battle of ideas, a battle of ways. Your way versus my way, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're still very young. You're a young lion. You have to learn, especially in relationships, that your way needs to be challenged in order to be improved. Do you hear that? Your way has to be challenged in order to be improved. And your relationships serve as the challenge, right? The beliefs that you have in place. I mean, even the conversation we just had about atheistic, an Afrocentric atheist. And once we got into, this whole fucking concept, you recognize, I just don't like European depiction or description or breakdown of God. I'm not down with anything that's Europeanized as it pertains to spirituality. But then you was like, the African Nile Valley, Voodoo, Ifa, you went into all of that, and that still implies God. So you can't be an atheist. So can't you see how you are conflicted as a person? And in being conflicted, you're going to bring that fractured, conflicted energy into the relationship, and it's going to cause problems. But what is the purpose of the problem that it's causing? It's for you to be able to see, I'm conflicted.
Mm-hmm.
Let me fix, the contradiction in me, the flaw in me. We just had a conversation about some shit I have never heard of. Afrocentric atheism, and then you double back into believing into God just from an African perspective. Do you see the confusion that you bring to the table?
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
Check. Got that.
Like you bringing confusion to the table, but yet the way you describe that confusion is almost as if she might be the problem. When in fact, who's the problem, bro?
The problem is me.
Right. You so damn deep that the sunlight don't even reach to the bottom of where you at. That makes sense. That makes sense. Lighten up a little bit, bro. Okay? Lighten up a taste. Come to the light. The light is enlightenment. Right? Don't, yeah, man. Like, I could tell already you on some writeaholic shit. Like, especially in your relationship. You on some writeaholic shit. You gotta be right, but you can't be right until you
right but me.
Right. You got to fix that shit on the inside, bro. You like Oswald Bates. See the depth of the holographic spiritualities. Nah, my nigga. You got to break up with all that shit. You know, dig? Because the deeper the spiritual understanding, the fewer the amount of words. The less you need to express it. You know, dig? I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you for calling, man. We got to wrap it. Man, thank you so much, man. Everybody calling in. Now the phone lines is crazy right now. They always get real crazy at the end, too. We appreciate it. The one-on-one coaching with Zoe, I do it every now and again. Give the ladies the night off. Thank you all for chiming in. Very powerful show tonight. We appreciate everybody for doing it. I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. I got to bounce like bad checks. Don't change the channel. I'm going right upstairs to my homeboy Antonio Moore's show, and I'm doing his show. We finna break down the whole Love Matters Revealed CD, relationship dismount book. It's going to be lit. Thank you for everybody who tuned in. I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, and I will catch you guys on Monday with a new heater. Deuces.